right. Good evening, students.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Good evening, students. Wow. Okay. Good evening, students. Hey, there we go. All right. Are you guys liking Almost Parking Lot Church? Almost, because we're almost in the parking lot. Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nope. This is a tough crowd tonight. Here we go. It's gonna be a long night. All right, so just a whole bunch of things going on in the month of November and some great things at that. First thing coming up is this weekend is Baptism Sunday. Yeah, Baptism Sunday is an awesome time. If you are interested in getting baptized, come and talk to me or one of our leaders. We would love to celebrate that with you on Sunday. We would love to have that opportunity to celebrate Sunday with you for baptisms. And again, talk to me, one of your leaders. We would love the opportunity to celebrate that. Make sure to bring, if you're going to get baptized and you don't feel like talking to me, that's fine. Bring a pair of clothes to change into so that you can be changed, so that you can get in the water, and we will baptize you right after service on Sunday morning. Also, we are doing the Thanksgiving turkey drive, and we would love for you guys to take a card if you would like to. We did the math on how much one of the turkey baskets cost, and it's only $50. Only $50, and you can help feed a family in Moreno Valley for Thanksgiving, and it'd be a great opportunity for you guys to partner with our church to help feed Moreno Valley. All right? Yeah. Also coming up in the month of December, there's this giant holiday. I don't know if you know about it, but it's called Christmas. Yeah, I know. And so we're going to be having a Christmas party on December the 16th. Woo! December the 16th. We're going to have a Christmas party. We're going to have a bonfire. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have a glow party. Pastor Tony is bringing the Christmas story. It will be a great night. We'll do some Christmas songs. And we are so excited about being able to celebrate Christmas, because what is the best time of year? Christmas. Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year, right? It's the most wonderful. Yeah, there we go. All right. I'm not good at singing. That's why I stopped. All right. I need 2 volunteers who know how much expensive things cost and can compare them. All right, Jacob, I saw your hand go up. All right. I saw your hand go up. Awesome, Jacob and Emily. Here we go. Jacob and Emily. All right. All right, so the name of this game is 1 versus 1,000. And so what I'm going to do is over here on your screen, you guys will have to scoot back so you can see the screen. I can't see the screen because I can't go any further out, but I'm fine. I am going to show you 2 separate images on the same screen. Let's pull up the first one, and don't give them the answer, though. The first one, so like 1 toboggan versus 1,000 pizza rolls. So we're trying to see if I bought 1 toboggan and 1,000 pizza rolls, which one would cost more? You get what I'm talking about? Get it? Get it?
Yes.
All right, so guess on this first one. 1 toboggan or 1,000 pizza rolls. Which one would cost more? The beanie? The pizza rolls. It is the beanie. It's $79 for that exact beanie.
Pay for that.
And I'm not sure who would pay $79 for that. It's a what? It's I can't see that logo. And then I would pay $70 for 1,000 pizza rolls, though. That's for sure. That would be so good. All right, next one is 1 Nintendo Switch or 1,000 Chicken McNuggets. Would it be 1 Nintendo Switch or 1,000 Chicken McNuggets? The Switch? The Switch? I actually think it's the McNuggets. Am I right? Am I right? Nope. Yep. Nope. Next. The answer is it is 1 Switch. Holy cow. It is $300. This one's close. It was $300 for a Nintendo Switch. I didn't know that. That's pretty expensive. I'm not sure why you would buy that. Okay. All right. Next one. It is. Wow. I cannot see that. That is Doritos and AirPods. AirPods on the left or 1,000 Doritos? 1,000 Doritos or AirPods?
Yeah, single chip.
Doritos? And you say the AirPods. It is probably it is the AirPods. 1,000 Doritos. It shows only one Dorito, not a bag of Doritos. 1,000 bags of Doritos would be like a lot of money. All right, next one. One MacBook, I'm guessing that's a Pro, because that makes a difference. Or 1,000 cups of coffee.
Starbucks?
It's Starbucks.
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing that's just a normal grande coffee. And I'm going to tell you that this is by the price, it is a MacBook Pro.
Oh, he's just telling us the answer to this.
You think it's MacBook Pro? You think it's MacBook Pro? It is 1,000 cups of coffee. Look at how drastically different they are. That's $13 a cup of coffee. Holy, that's not.
That's not right.
That's got to be. That's a giant cup of coffee. Maybe it's bags of coffee.
Yeah,
It's not $13 though.
yeah, a cup.
It's got to be the coffee beans. I don't know who would pay that much for a cup of coffee.
Be a
But
bag of coffee.
I don't pay that much at Starbucks, so let's just say that. Because I go to the cupcake bar. All right, next one. One Canon camera or 1,000 M&Ms. If you want to see what 1,000 M&Ms looks like, you can go in my office. One camera or 1,000 M&Ms. You say one camera?
Or is that 1,000 bags of M&Ms?
Ooh.
They're pieces.
I'm guessing he's trying to look at my glasses. Ooh, I don't
But
know.
it's bags.
If it's bags,
I'm thinking it's
If it's
bags.
bags, it's the M&Ms.
It's bags of M&Ms. By the number, I'm thinking it's bags.
then the
It's the M&Ms, and that kind of gives it away because yes,
In your mouth.
yeah, because $10,000. That's a
Yeah.
giant bag of M&Ms. I
1,000
don't understand.
My wife has that exact camera, and I paid
Okay,
$700.
all right, next one.
I paid
This is a Toyota.
15 years ago.
Wow, you went pretty quick on
That's
that
a
one.
Volkswagen.
Is it a Volkswagen?
Looks like
It's
a
a Toyota Camry.
Really?
Toyota Camry or a giant jug of Red Hot.
1,000 of them.
1,000 giant jugs of Red Hots?
It's one Toyota. It's not a. It's a Toyota Corolla. Sorry.
Corolla?
It looks pretty used. It looks like it's used. Or 1,000 thing of Red Hot,
That's
like jugs of Red Hot.
Yeah.
You think it's the car?
I don't know. I mean, if it's used, like,
It's the car.
It's a new one.
I think it's.
Let's say it's a new one.
Oh no.
You think it's the Corolla?
Yeah, it's around
Those are actually pretty cheap. They're only $5,000. Next, yeah, $6,000. 1,000 things of the Red Hot. Yes.
That's not a new camera, new
He
Corolla.
said
I don't
It's a
know.
salvage title.
It's a salvage title one. This is in the state of Kentucky. How much they
Said
cost?
one
Not in
dented up
California.
Corolla.
I'm guessing. I'm just guessing. Not in the state of California. It costs twice that much in the state of California. Hashtag taxes. All right, that is a Dyson V7 Animal Pro vacuum. I know that because I own that exact vacuum. Or 1,000 bagel bites. I want some bagel bites. It's the bagel bites. I'm guessing.
Stick.
I don't know the number. The bagel bites or the vacuum cleaner.
If it's a Dyson.
The bagel bites.
That's right. It's the
It's a Dyson V7 Animal Pro Plus. You say it's the vacuum, and you say it's the bagels. I think it is the Dyson. Yes. It is like a super powerful vacuum.
75.
All right, next one. Ooh, I don't know which.
could be
There's
a
no
10.
home button, so it is an 11. There you go.
Well, that could be a 10 or a 12.
Wait, that
I
could
don't
be
know.
A,
It's
how
an
do you know that's
iPhone. Let's just say generic iPhone, okay?
Generic.
Or the what are they? Earrings?
Their price is very.
Or the earrings?
Oh, are they gold earrings?
They're used. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. It's the phone. Is that what you guys both think? You both think it's the phone? I'm guessing. It's the
1,000
phone.
rings.
It is the phone. Wow. I don't even know what those rings are. You think they're earrings? Okay. All right. Next one is. What is that?
Lamborghini?
That's a Bugatti something.
Bugatti?
That Bugatti Veyron? Veyron. Bugatti Veyron or ink cartridges. Is this a package of ink cartridges or just one ink cartridge? That makes a difference.
No, it doesn't.
One ink's like $60. That is close to true. Or that Bugatti. Do you think it's a Bugatti or the ink? He's doing the math. Here he goes.
Maybe 60,000.
It's the gold.
The Bugatti. Okay. What do you think it is? The Bugatti. It is. I'm thinking the cartridges. I don't know. Holy cow! It's got to be a package of the 4-pack. It's got to be the 4.
It's gotta be way more than that.
That's a $300.
The 4-pack times 1,000. 1,000 4-packs. That's 3 million.
That's not right.
That makes no sense.
That makes no sense.
That'd be like 3 even or even.
Okay, that makes no sense. So we're gonna say that one was wrong.
That would
And
mean
they've
each
done
one
like
is
some
$3,000.
terrible math. There's some terrible math. Here we go. Next one.
3,000 times.
Right, a Lamborghini or 1,000 shopping carts.
Yeah, 3 million divided by 1,000.
Shopping carts. Shopping carts do cost something.
Divided by 1,000.
Not to yes, to you it doesn't cost anything unless you got.
For each $3,000.
If you bought 1,000 shopping carts.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. That's a
The
that's a
Ferrari.
rainbow.
The Ferrari.
That's a Ferrari. Okay, never mind. I'm wrong.
1,000 shopping
My
carts
phone
are a
is blowing
Ferrari.
up. Holy cow.
Definitely the Ferrari.
The shopping carts. Those things are
The
expensive.
lobbies. You think it's the Ferrari? You think it's the Ferrari? And for some
The
reason, it's
shopping
probably going
carts.
to be the shopping carts. I don't know why.
Shopping carts are expensive.
No, it's the Ferrari. Wow. Wait, is that the last one?
Apparently,
One more, last one.
apparently shopping carts.
This is an
Apparently shopping carts are cheaper than ink.
an iPad Pro with a pencil and 1,000 Capri Suns.
Oh.
So you think it's what? I don't know. I don't know anymore now. I'm
think
so
it's the-
confused. I don't know.
I think it's the iPad.
You think it's the iPad? I'm gonna go with the Capri Suns because for some reason it's gonna say it's the boxes or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. That's what they. It's the boxes. It's not her. All right. Thank you guys. You guys are good sports. You guys did a good job. Good job, everybody. All right. I'm gonna pray. Whoa, that got really well. I'm gonna pray, and then our worship team is gonna lead us in worship. So let's pray. God, thank you for this day. Thank you for loving each one of us. And God, I pray that we can continue to get to know you more every single day. And God, that we can see how you matter in our lives and how you know us. And you get to know us and you know our context. You know where we come from. You know what really makes us tick, God. And that is how you can continue to make us feel safe. Because you want to continue to get to know us. And to continue to get to know us in a relationship with you. It's in your Son's name we pray. Amen.
You guys, let's stand up and sing tonight.
Who am I that the highest King would welcome me? I was lost, but He brought me in. spirit strong in me. My flesh may fail. My God, you never will. I may be weak. Your spirit strong in me. My flesh may fail. My God, you never will. Give me faith to trust what you say, that you're good and your love is great. I'm broken inside. I give you my life. Give me faith to trust what you say, that you're good and your love is great. I'm broken inside. I give you my life.
You guys can be seated.
All right, so I don't know about you guys, but I really like superhero movies. Do you guys? Yes? No? Yes? Raise your hand. Yes? Okay. And superhero movies nowadays are actually really good. They used to be really bad. Now they're really good. You know, like when Marvel started off with Iron Man, it was an okay one. I love Iron Man, but it was an okay one. And in between Marvel and DC, we get enough movies now to continue to get our superhero fix, right? We had all the Avengers series and all of the DC movies and Aquaman and all of that stuff. And we get the video games that then come from that, and then all the spin-off shows like Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all. I'm going to nerd out now, and you guys will love it or hate me for it. But we get so many different spin-offs and video games and TV shows. And my favorite one, even though Iron Man is my favorite, one of my favorite recent ones is Black Panther. And when the movie was first released, we were introduced to a hero with an incredible story, right? Right? And in a matter of a couple of hours, it felt like the whole world was saying Wakanda Forever. Remember, Wakanda Forever was like trending, and everybody said it. And now that he recently passed away, everybody's saying it again, and it's trending again. But before we saw this movie, we didn't know anything about Wakanda, did we? We knew nothing. Unless you read the comic books or whatever, you knew nothing about Wakanda. But that's why it's such a great movie, and that's why the whole movie starts out by telling us exactly not just about the character of the Black Panther, but about his backstory, about Wakanda, and explaining his home of Wakanda. And I think it's because the writers knew that in order to understand who the Black Panther was, is we had to understand where he came from. And is that not the same true for us? Just think about this. How many people in our schools, in our neighborhoods, and on our teams, or even in this right here, this section right now, do we assume that we know? Right? We might feel confident that we know the stories of some people just because we know some things about them. We like know their name, we know what they're good at, we know what their favorite music is, we know what their favorite movies are. We know what they like to wear, some of their friends. We think we know the full picture of a person just because of that. And the way we act, the way they live, who their friends are, and so much more. And that tells us all we need to know about them, right? Well, not exactly. See, we can know a lot about a person, but not really know the person, right? Just like in Black Panther, there's a really good chance that there's more to people's stories than what we just see about them. People around us have what we call backstories, and everyone has a backstory, right? And each and every person we think we know, there's a story that we can't see behind the story. And if we really want to know someone, we have to understand where they come from and what they have been through and what they are going through. We have to see more than just what they look like from the outside. We have to understand the people, their experiences, their beliefs, and what makes them them. Now, I think you probably know what I mean because you have a backstory. You know that in your own life, there's more to your story than what everybody else knows of you, right? Maybe you got angry and yelled at your sibling this week, and you found yourself thinking, maybe if she just understand all the friend drama that I was going through right now, she wouldn't be bugging. Or maybe you turned an assignment in late and thought to yourself, you know, if my teacher only knew that our power went out because of something. Or maybe you stopped texting your friend back and thought, they actually don't know how depressed I was, and if they did, they would know why I'm not returning their text messages. You see what I mean? That's stuff that's going on in the background that maybe no one else sees, and that not everyone would consider, right? That's your backstory. It's what you're dealing with. It's where you're coming from right now in the moment, what you're going through. And if you're like me, you wish people knew your full backstory, knew a little bit more of your backstory from time to time. But I think the question for all of us is this: do we give the same kind of grace and consideration to other people? And I know sometimes we don't. The reality is we rarely consider the backstories of other people, right? We often don't stop to consider where they are coming from. And because of that, we don't ever really personally know them. So how do you and I begin to see their backstory? How do we make an effort to understand where people are coming from, and how do we make it personal? And thankfully, Jesus gives us an example that we can follow in. Over the past few weeks, we've been talking about the story of Zacchaeus. You remember that? We've been talking about how Jesus was going through, and he was walking around a couple thousand years ago when he was teaching, and he came to a city called Jericho, and there was a guy named Zacchaeus there. Remember this? We're going along, and we talked about superheroes, and we know that Jesus was a superhero, right? Yeah, some of you guys are not even listening. Jesus was a superhero. We would say Jesus had powers that we would almost classify him as a superhero now today if he was walking this world. But if we think of Zacchaeus, he was more like a supervillain, wasn't he? He was a guy that the people in Jericho did not like at all. He was a tax collector, which basically meant that he cheated people out of their money. And he took their money and kept it to himself so that he could have wealth and status. And even though his reputation was rough, when he heard that Jesus was in town, Zacchaeus went out and made an effort to see and talk to Jesus. He wanted to just catch a glimpse of Jesus so that he could just be encouraged by him. And so he climbed a tree so that he could see Jesus over the crowd. Because, you know, Zacchaeus was a wee little man, and a wee little man was he. And he wanted to see Jesus above the crowd. And what was crazy is that out of the entire crowd of people crowded around Jesus, Jesus pointed out Zacchaeus. He pointed out Zacchaeus, and he called him down up out of the tree. Not only that, he walked right over to him and said to him that he wanted to come to his house. And why did he come over and ask him to come down from the tree? Well, for a reason no one expected. Again, to hang out with Zacchaeus. And that's right, Jesus wanted to hang out with the guy that everybody in town hated. He wanted to spend time with him, to get to know him, and not just get to know him, but to go to his house, the place he came from. And take a look. Luke 19, 5 and 6 says this. When Jesus reached the spot, he looked up and said to him, Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today. So he came down at once and welcomed him gladly. And so I realized that Jesus inviting himself over to Zacchaeus' house may seem a little bit strange to us, but it would be absolutely strange to the people then. You just don't invite yourself over, first off, and it would have been wild to them in 2,000 years ago time. Zacchaeus was not a good guy, and everyone in town knew it. Jesus knew Zacchaeus' reputation. But Jesus wasn't satisfied with only knowing about Zacchaeus. He wanted to take a step of getting to know him better and to see where he lived. He wanted to really get to know Zacchaeus. See, there's something about where we live that says a lot about who we are. Where we live is usually the place where we are our most comfortable. It's the place where our guard goes down and we can be who we really are, right? If you're in your room, you're at your most relaxed state, right? Can you imagine Jesus coming over to Zacchaeus' house? Zacchaeus is probably then setting up the picnic table in the backyard. He flips on the grill, puts on his apron so that he can grill out hamburgers and hot dogs. No, because Jesus was kosher and he didn't eat hot dogs. And I guess if they were all beef, maybe. But no, Jesus came over and Zacchaeus, think about it. Zacchaeus pulled out all the stops for him. He held a party for Jesus. And now, I'm not exactly sure what exactly went down. We don't see that Zacchaeus turned on the fire pit and started grilling everything. We just know that he had a party for Jesus. And sure, Jesus wanted to make it personal to Zacchaeus though. And that's why he went over to his house. Sure, he already actually knew everything about Zacchaeus, but he still decided to take one step further and to step into his world just to get to know him. And Jesus made it personal for Zacchaeus when he took a step to understand where Zacchaeus lived. And visiting Zacchaeus' home meant that Jesus would get to know him in a very personal way. And Jesus would get a glimpse of a very important part of Zacchaeus' backstory. And of course, Jesus already knew his backstory because of course he is Jesus, right? He knows everything. And but this visit showed Zacchaeus that he was accepted, his story and all. You see, where you live isn't just a physical address. It's a place where it gives others a glimpse into our personal lives, our personal circumstances, our situations, our day-to-day lives. It helps people see who we are. And where we live is a part of our backstory. It's a part that most people don't typically get to see. And what's cool is what Jesus did for Zacchaeus was an example of something that Jesus does for you and me too. He may not physically walk into your house just like he did Zacchaeus' house. It just gives us a small glimpse of how God actually stepped down out of heaven and into this earth to be just like every single one of us. To be like us. The God that created the universe stepped out of the heavens to be with us. I'm going to say it again. The God of the universe stepped out of the heavens to be one of us, to walk in our world, to understand our world even more than he already understood it. And then to eventually sacrifice himself and to show us how much he really cares about each and every single one of us. That's what Jesus did when he came to this earth. He wanted to understand our stories in a real and personal way, even more than he understood them then. And it's personal because Jesus understands your story. Jesus understands your story. He knows our stories because he knows where we live. And He knows what it's like to walk in our shoes. He was a teenager at one point. That's exciting, isn't it? Like, to know that Jesus was a teenager. Like, He had to go through everything you were going through at one point in His life. He doesn't just see and understand a little bit about us. He knows us because He knows our whole story. He knows our backstories. He knows the stuff that nobody else knows. But Jesus still loves us because He knows us. It's personal because Jesus knows your story. And if the way we treat other people is going to be personal, then we have to choose to understand their stories as well. Just like Jesus does for us. So where do we start? Well, first, before we get to know others, we might just need to become known ourselves. And I mean, for some of us, we need to first step out and acknowledge that Jesus wants to know you personally. Maybe that's the first step that you need to take today. And in fact, He already knows you better than you know yourself, but you might need to acknowledge and let Him into your story, to invite Him into your story today. And if that's the case, we would love to talk to you guys about that in group, to invite Jesus into your story. Maybe your story has been without Jesus forever. Or maybe you've let Jesus kind of like linger and sit outside the house and look in through the windows. But maybe today you're ready to let Him in the doors. To actually let Jesus become a part of the party going on in your house. And instead, I'm going to use an analogy that may not really be great, but here we go. We know that Jesus, you guys are smart. Jesus' first miracle was where He turned water into wine, and it was a great wedding party, right? You guys know part of the story. Jesus, they were having a wedding party, and it was going great, but then all the wine ran out, and this is a metaphor for your life. Let me get there. All the wine ran out of the party, and what did Jesus do? His mom asked Him to go make more wine, but Jesus said, no, it's not my time, and then she said again, it's not. She said, hey, you should go make some wine, and so like a good guy, he listens to his mom, and he makes water into wine, and you know what He does? He makes the best wine. You see, when you invite Jesus into the party, into your life, He may turn what may just be normal water into wine into your life, and it may be the best wine of your life. And I know you guys may not understand where I'm going with this, but think about that. Jesus may take what is plain and simple in your life and turn it into something that is great. You just have to let Him into your life. Invite Him into your party. Invite Him into the doors. Don't just keep Him outside looking in through the windows. Let Him inside the doors. You see, many times we think that we have to be perfect before we can let Jesus in our lives. And I know I've heard it a million times. When I get my life right, I'll let Jesus, I'll accept Him. None of us are perfect. The only perfect person that's ever lived is Jesus. You don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to have your life halfway together. Your life could be a wreck. But Jesus already knows your story. Jesus knows where your story is going to go, and He wants to be a part of it. So just let Him in. Let Him into your life. Others of us, maybe it's time for us to let someone else into our story. Your step might be to share your story with someone else. Share your story with how Jesus has affected your life with someone else. And I'm not talking about some random stranger you meet on the street. That's cool too, but maybe one of your friends who doesn't believe in Him yet. Just saying, hey, this is what Jesus has done in my life. And here's how He can do it in yours. And just being real with them. Saying, I don't have everything figured out, because none of us do. But Jesus has helped me in this way. Someone who maybe is a big part of your life, or who you want to be a part of your life, or want to be a big part of your life. Let them into your story. let them to get to know you better and to know that backstory, to share a little bit more. What if you started to share a little bit more about where you came from in group? What if you told your group a little bit about what your life is really like, instead of saying, oh, it's good, how is school? Well, it's good, I'm not really turning my assignments in or whatever. Instead of doing that, just be real. Really open up to someone and let them in. What if you really shared more of your backstory with someone? Think about how your life could change even more, or how it could affect change in their life, because they see how God is moving in your life when you don't even see it. Maybe you're in your place where you want to make it personal with other people, the way Jesus did for you, and you can do this by giving someone the gift of going second. And in other words, you can be the first one to share. Maybe you've never shared your story before. Maybe you could share first. You can choose to share a little bit about your own backstory, and then people know that it's safe to share their story as well, and to share their story with other people, and maybe other people now open up as well. And when someone does share your story with you, make sure you choose to listen and ask questions to learn more. When you show someone that you care by listening, it really shows them the respect that they need and that they want by opening up, and lets them know that you really care about them. So just imagine if getting to know the stories of your classmates or teammates, your neighbors, was something that you actually took personally. You'd start to see people for who they really are instead of who you think they are. You become known as the person who cares, really cares, the person who they can trust, the person who wants to know people in a real and personal way. And you can actually have an opportunity to do that in small groups. It's a place to ask questions, to listen, to learn, to grow, and to get to know everyone's story. You can share your story with them in return. So remember, it's personal because Jesus understands your story. As we get ready to head into groups, I want you to think about this one question. What's one thing most people don't really know about me? What's one thing that most people don't really know about me? Let's pray. God, I thank you for this day. I thank you for loving us. And God, I pray for us to continue to pursue you with everything in our lives. But God, I also ask for us who have never given our lives to you, God, or never let you in the door to be a part of the party going on in our house, God. God, that we will open the door and let you in. And God, I pray that those of us who need to share our story or have a broken story, God, that you be with us. God, that you give us strength, that you give us courage, that you give us honor for being able to open up and be real with one another. And God, we pray for love. We pray that we can continue to get personal with you and our friends, our neighbors, and the people in our classes, God. It's in your Son's name we pray. Amen. All right, you guys can go to group, I think. Yeah, boys are going to go that way, and girls, I think you'll probably split up over here. So you guys can go to group.